Long years ago, we made a test with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not only or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. पिछले 8 बरस में हमारे मुल्क ने बहुत कुछ किया, बहुत कुछ हमने बुनियादें डाली अपने मुल्क के आइंदा की।
It is a voice we have often heard, a voice that captures the thoughts and moods of a whole people, the voice of Jawaharlal Nehru. It is the voice of a man that has found an echo in the hearts of the Indian people, a voice ever guiding and inspiring them to newer and greater heights of progress and enlightenment, towards a new India that is now in the making. And upon him, the Indian people have bestowed their love and affection. Familiar figure, not only in India, but far beyond the borders of our own country. He is welcomed and acclaimed as a symbol of India, the India of the past and the present, of the old and the new. For in a world torn by suspicion and strife, he has given a new meaning and dimension to human and international relationship.
It is the night of August the 14th, 1947. The auspicious moment is on its way. In every house throughout the land, the lamps of good fortune are lighted to illumine the path to freedom. Large numbers have foregathered in every Congress house, while Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said, we stand on the threshold of freedom. I want to assure everyone that India is a country for all. It does not belong to any special community or religion. It belongs to all. The hands of the clock move their way towards midnight. All India the country chant prayers and invoke God's blessings for the newborn nation. And the flag of India, our flag, the tricolor, is unfurled. The Constituent Assembly rises and stands in silence for 2 minutes in homage to those who gave their lives to win freedom. Jai Hind! Victory to India!
Fellow countrymen, it has been my privilege to serve India and the cause of India's freedom for many years. Today, I address you for the first time officially as the first servant of the Indian people, pledged to their service and their betterment. I am here because you willed it so, and I remain here so long as you choose to honor me with your confidence. We have achieved much. We have to achieve much more. Let us then address ourselves to our new tasks with the determination and adherence to high principles which our great leader has taught us. Mahatma Gandhi is fortunately with us. Friends and comrades, the light has gone out of our lives and there is darkness everywhere. And I do not quite know what to tell you and how to say it. Our beloved leader, Bapu as we called him, the father of the nation, is no more. Events crowd in upon us, and because of this quick succession, we are apt to miss their significance. Some of us give messages on each occasion, exhorting people to great endeavor, and even these messages become stale for repetition. Yet, undoubtedly, the 26th of January 1950 is a day of high significance for India and the Indian people. It does mean the consummation of one important phase of our national struggle. We are fortunate to witness this emergence of the Republic of India, and our successors may well envy us this day, but fortune is a hostage which has to be jealously guarded by our own good works, and which has a tendency to slip away if we slacken in our efforts or if we look in wrong directions. Jai Hind.
His day is not yet over. He believes that good government demands speedy decisions, and speedy decisions mean that all matters must be attended to without delay. Mr. Nehru achieves, in fact, what he expects others to do. This end to a crowded day in the Prime Minister's life serves to underline what he has always said. India must rapidly make up the leeway of centuries, and to do so, she must work as never before. He himself works with tireless energy, never sparing himself, always setting an example. It is well past the midnight hour. It is time for Jawaharlal Nehru to get a few hours' sleep.
Nearly 20 years ago, Jawaharlal said, "I took to the crowd and the crowd took to me, but I could not get rid of the idea that their affection was meant not for me as I was, but for some fanciful image of me that they had formed. The people of India have seen that the image they had of the man they loved was true. Nehru's public image was his real self. He was most himself when he was with his people. With them he felt alive and young and full of hope. Not long ago, he wrote his own epitaph. If any people choose to think of me, then I should like them to say, this was a man who with all his mind and heart loved India and the Indian people. They in turn were indulgent to him and gave him of their love most abundantly and extravagantly. Seldom in history has one man been
loved by so many during his lifetime, and seldom has a man been so true to love. Jawaharlal Nehru, writer, statesman, an intellectual with the heart of a poet, one who was a gentleman, always observing the rules of fair play, and above all, a great humanist. As Prime Minister, it is Mr. Nehru's responsibility to coordinate the activities of all ministries and government departments. The 5-year plans are India's blueprints for progress. Mr. Nehru is the chairman of the Planning Commission. The first plan has been fulfilled and the second has been launched. It will lay the foundations of an industrial economy capable of meeting our rapidly growing needs. Assisting the Planning Commission is the National Development Council, over which also the Prime Minister presides. On this council are represented the interests of the states of the Indian Union, and elected governments make known their views on planning policies.
There are not many instances in history where one country, that is India, has gone out of her way to be friendly and cooperative with the Chinese government and people, and to plead their cause in the councils of the world, and then for the Chinese government to return evil for good, and even go to the extent of committing aggression and invade our sacred land.
We should have to carry a heavy burden, all of us, whatever our vocations may be. The price of freedom will have to be paid in full measure, and no price is too great for the freedom of our people and of our motherland. Perhaps we are growing too soft and taking things for granted, but freedom can never be taken for granted. It requires always awareness, strength and austerity.
I have full faith in our people and in the cause and in the future of our country. Perhaps that future requires some such testing and stiffening for us. I wish you well. And whatever may befall us in the future, I want you to hold your heads high and have faith and full confidence in the great future that we envisage for our country. Jai Hind.
In the preamble to the Constitution of UNESCO, it is stated that war begins in the minds of men. That is essentially true, and ultimately it is necessary to bring about this change in our minds and to remove fears and apprehensions, hatreds and suspicions. Disarmament is a part of this process, for it will create an atmosphere helpful to cooperation. But it is only a step towards our objective, a part of the larger effort to rid the world of war and the causes of war. Fear and hatred overshadow the world. If, apart from the moral imperative of peace, every practical consideration leads us to that conclusion. For as everyone knows, the choice today in this nuclear age is one between utter annihilation and the destruction of civilization, or of some way to have peaceful coexistence between nations. There is no middle way.
For 17 years from this house, Jawaharlal Nehru had guided the destiny of the 450 millions who loved him, adored him. For 17 years, each morning, he received men, women and children from different parts of the country, peasants and laborers, who came to look on the face of the incarnation of their dreams and hopes. Now they come again to see their Jawahar, their jewel.